Hey, this video, third video for our burnout series, we're going to be focusing on what can lead to burnout. And we have some kind of like categories and subcategories under there. We're going to be focusing on what can lead to burnout in work, in your life, and then maybe just overall with your personality. So work, lots of things that can lead to burnout with our work. So maybe if you have really unclear job duties and expectations at work, if you have a really high pressure or high expectation environment that you work in, if you have overly demanding job duties with little to no boundaries, if doing the work that you do is not really challenging enough for you, that can lead to burnout as well. And if you never get recognition for the work that you do, definitely can lead to burnout. If you have no control over your work, whether that be the work that you do or when you do it, and if you kind of have like information overload at work, it's like a lot of things get dumped on you at once. And then of course, if you have insufficient time off at work and aren't supported in that way, that can definitely lead to burnout. So being able to look at the work environment, usually if we have one of those things and we're burnout at work, we usually have multiple of them. But with that being said, you don't need all of those things, of course, to be burnout at work. It can just be the boxes are checked on all other things, but you never get recognition at work. Even though you get paid time off, plenty of vacation, you have control of what you do and when you do it, and all the other things are great. If you never get recognition at work, that can still lead to a space where you can be burnt out at work. So being able to allow yourself to kind of pause a little bit and think about those things in regard to your work environment, whether you're burnt out or not, still a good space to kind of think about those things and explore them a little bit. In regard to our lives, so not getting enough sleep, huge thing that can lead to burnout. Just kind of thinking of sleep as like a battery recharger. If we're never really recharging our battery by getting good sleep and enough sleep, just kind of a recipe for disaster and burnout. If you have a lot of difficulties asking for help from others, taking on too many responsibilities without the help from others can lead to burnout. And if you don't have a lot of supportive relationships and help in your life, that can also lead to burnout in certain areas. If you have a lot of family or caregiving stress going on, whether that be with mixed match of personalities in your life, or trauma, or medical type necessities and stressors, and then not socializing and relaxing enough and working too much, not really having that like work-life balance or flow, is definitely something in your life that can lead to burnout. So like I said, again, even if you're not feeling burnout in your life, taking an inventory on some of those things and giving yourself some space to explore those. And then lastly, just looking at some of our different like personality types and what can lead to burnout. So definitely those people who are perfectionistic in their tendencies have a higher rate of burnout. If they have expectations to always be a high achiever, definitely higher chances of burnout. Those type A personality traits, and again, thinking people who maybe have all three of those, higher chances of burnout in work and life with those high expectations and those ideals to be perfect. Those who maybe have a pessimistic view of the world, definitely have higher chances of burnout in life and at work. And then those who are super fearful of things, that just takes a lot of energy to think about all the things that could go wrong all the time. And so again, thinking about how much is being taken up by that leaves very little room for us to actually do our life and do our work from. So it can kind of lead to an overload and a burnout space inside of there. So that's all I've got for you right now about what can lead to burnout. Of course, those are not the only things that can lead to burnout, and not in the only categories. There's lots of other things in our life that lead to burnout, but those are just kind of a general example and list to kind of get your thoughts kind of rolling. So just leave yourself some time to explore that and kind of do a little bit of an inventory of your life and your personality and your workspace to see if there are things in there that could or could not kind of assist or steer you away from burnout. But okay, next video series coming to you. Next video in this series coming to you will be about how to reframe, a little bit about how we think about burnout, and then getting into like how it looks in real life for all of us. But until next time.